How's it going, guys? Jeff here again with my partner, also Jeff.
Better, Jeff.
Yeah, bringing you another episode of Raw Trainer Files. We're going on episode 8, I believe, today. So, pretty excited. Almost to 10. We'll have to do something special for episode 10.
Unbelievable. 10 episodes.
I don't know what it'll be yet.
We need to make sure we get Justin Leonard on here sometime soon.
Yeah, we tried to get him on for you guys. He's got some great advice, great intel, but he had to eat, had to eat. So, we got a cool topic today, something I could probably talk about forever. We're going to talk about the bro split, right? What is the bro split? Why it might not be the best choice for you, or why it might be a really good choice for you. I don't know. Everyone's a little different. But we're going to talk about it. What is it? Why it might not be good? Why it might be good? Our own experiences with it, and just kind of go from there. So, what is the bro split?
Yeah, so the bro split is kind of what you see in most gyms. Like, you'll go up to somebody and be like, hey, what are you training today? And you'll be like, shoulders. Like, oh, okay, so you're just training shoulders? And that, that's kind of how they do it. So you train shoulders one day, you train your chest another day, your legs one day. And usually when you do it, you're doing a lot of sets.
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing like 5, 10, it's like 15, 20, 30 sets of a particular muscle group, you know what I mean? And so you do that instead of, doing like a full body routine where you work multiple muscle groups, or, maybe upper lower split or something like that. Bro split is just one body part.
So the bro split is going to be just one body part per day, right? Got it.
For most, that's probably, I'm sure there's different ways you can put it, but for most people, that's the common.
Why is it coined the bro split? Like, where did that come? I'm just generally curious.
That I honestly have no idea. I don't know where it came from. I think just because you see your bros in there, and that's kind of what I meant earlier by like, what are you doing today? Oh, just hitting chest,
bro.
Like, that's what I think of when I hear bro split.
Okay.
So maybe that I don't know.
Yeah.
Just maybe because you would see a lot of bodybuilders train that way at one point, and so you associate. Unfortunately, you associate bro with bodybuilders or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
That'd be my thought. I don't know. What's your thought on that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it goes right around too. Like, a lot of like good bodybuilders might have followed a split like that, and so like every guy that starts lifting, what do we all want to do? We want to put on muscles, and so just kind of adopted to the bro. We just replicate it and just. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Chest and tries, back and bis, legs, shoulders, and then I got an ab and an arm day.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I used to train that way as well. And then I think at the beginning, like, pretty much anything you do is it's gonna work, right? So
Right.
It works for a little bit, but then you're gonna eventually run into where you're gonna plateau, and you can probably train a little bit more efficient starting out, anyways. So
Yeah.
so that's kind of what we want to go over today. Is just there's nothing necessarily wrong with the bro split, but there's better ways to train, especially starting out, and eventually too as you get more advanced in training as well.
Yeah, I think that's two things. Like, one big thing is like, once you get past your beginner gains or your beginner results, like if you've never lifted weights before and you follow that bro split, it's gonna work. You're gonna get stronger, right? You're gonna put on muscle. You're probably gonna lose body fat. But it's only gonna work for so long. So once you kind of cross that threshold to intermediate progress or training status, but also too, like nowadays, maybe back 20, 30 years ago, you would just replicate what the strongest guy in the gym or what Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing, right? But now there's so much more research that's gone into this topic, like how to actually build muscle and how to train yourself. Like, there's no reason to do it anymore, right? Unless that's specifically like what your training regimen needs to be for your body type and your training status.
Right, but that usually doesn't happen until you become more advanced.
Yeah, I would say a split like that is probably more advanced. We'll maybe go into why that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we will for sure. Definitely for more advanced, but like you said, you will grow from it. But you're essentially just doing way more than you need to do. If you're doing if you're doing enough work in one session, you're essentially doing way too much for one body part. And so this kind of leads to our next point. So they've been, they've done a lot of research on this, like you were saying, and kind of what the average set range is per workout for a certain muscle group is around 8 sets. Okay, so a lot of people they'll keep growing with more sets, but then they get to a certain point and it's around 8 to 10 sets. And this is going to be different for each person, but around 8 to 10 sets. Once they get there, it starts to go down.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, you actually see less muscle growth. the more you do.
So more over 8 sets.
On average, about 8 to 10 sets per
Okay.
muscle group. So when you see these bro splits that are 15, 20 sets per muscle in a workout, yeah, you're gonna be sore and you're gonna feel like you worked your ass off, but you're essentially just wasting time after around that 10th set. And so, that's why the bro split may not be superior, or why it is inferior to doing 8 to 10 sets or less.
Okay. Well, and also too, so I know, so training frequency kind of comes into this. So
Yep.
like how many times a week you train a muscle group, right? So why, let's say you train chest on Mondays, right? And that's the only day you do chest. When, in reality, like you could probably get away with training your chest 2 or 3 days a week, unless you're like an extremely advanced lifter, to where you have to do so much work to that muscle to get any type of stimulus that your body literally needs 6 or 7 days to recover from all that damage you caused, right? So why only grow 1 time a week when you could potentially grow up to 3 times? Like you grow and you rest, but train chest on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you're resting 48 to 72 hours in between every single session. Like,
Yeah.
why not? Who's gonna grow their chest faster and be stronger ultimately? The guy that's growing 3 days a week, or the guy that's only growing once a week? Over compounded over what 6 months to a year. So
Yeah, well, and two, like you mentioned frequency, and so that's where frequency kind of comes into play. There's no magic to like training a muscle group more than once per week. Like it's not like you just train a muscle group twice a week and it's like you grow more. It's just the fact that when you add in another day of training, you're able to do more total volume for the week. So, for example, what they found is about 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week is the best for most people on average, right? And so, like we said, once you get to 10 sets, everything after that is jump volume, essentially, right? You're just wasting your time. And so it's like, how do you fit that extra 10 sets in to get the most growth? And it's like, well, you got to split it up, like you said. You can split it up between 2 sessions, like you said, or you can do 3 sessions, whatever you like to do. So frequency is one that you can manipulate to get more volume in per week.
And I also think it changes training up a little bit more too. Instead of, like, all right, I'm only doing chest exercises today, you get to train, a little bit more variety, and I think it maybe breaks the monotony out of training too a little bit.
Well, it breaks the monotony, and two, think of this, like, have you ever done a session of chest where you did 15 sets, and how are those last, like, 5 sets of chest? It's a waste of time. You're not even doing anything, So it's like, if you split up your frequency and you split it up between 2 sessions or 3, like, each set is going to be, you're going to be able to put more into that body part as well. So,
Okay.
Because it's not as worn down, essentially.
Right.
So that's the other downside of the brain split, too.
Yeah. So sore the next few days too. It's just like,
Yeah.
man, yeah. I've been there. I've run those splits before. I've done all kinds of programming in the past. So, yeah. What would you say to someone listening right now? And they're just kind of like looking for a little guidance as to just from some general guidelines from yourself, and they're just looking to take their training to the next level. They're tired of doing just one muscle group a week, or they plateaued. Like, what's a general recommendation of like how many times a week? Like, what would a week look like, basically? Like, break it down for us.
So let's start from the top. So volume is like the biggest factor for muscle growth, right? And so we said 10 to 20 sets per week is on average about what you, in terms to grow. Like, that's what you need.
Okay.
Anything over around 8 sets is going to be just a waste of time, essentially. You're not going to be able to give your best effort for that muscle group. So what something that I would do is kind of like you mentioned. So let's say chest, for example. For most people, let's say 15 sets, right? So you have some options. You could do Monday, Thursday, 8-7, or you could do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like you mentioned, and hit 5-5-5. Just kind of see how you feel after each session. Like you're gonna have to play around for a little bit. But I would say if you're still sore, like if you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're still sore going into Wednesday in your chest, probably not the best idea to hit your chest again, just because you're not fully recovered at that point most of the time.
Okay. So 2-3 days a week. Most people probably train 4 or 5 days a week total. So. Try to split each muscle group up. Try to hit each muscle group at least twice a week to start. Split it up over 4 or 5 days, something like that. And then also, too, don't get stuck. this is a big thing, that I've been working on for myself, is like, don't get stuck on like, this day has to be just like, you know,
Legs,
chest, yeah, chest and back and shoulders. Like, you can do legs on the same day you do chest, or you can do shoulders on the same day you do legs. So don't get stuck in that mindset either. Just try to aim 15 sets per muscle group. Try to train each muscle group at least twice a week, and split it up over 4 or 5 days, and just see what happens.
I think the hardest thing for people is that they do it this way and they don't feel as sore after each workout, and so they think that they're not growing as much, but that's not true, though. I mean, just because you're not getting sore doesn't mean you're not growing muscle.
It's true. I feel like though you should have some soreness. Like, it might not be excruciating, like, oh my god, I'm so sore today, like, oh, I can barely walk. But there should be some type of stiffness, I feel like, associated. If you never ever feel stiff or you never feel sore, you may not be pushing hard enough.
Absolutely.
Right? As a beginner, you can probably get away with not being super sore, but as a beginner, you're also probably going to get sore because you've not done it before, right? But you should feel some type of stiffness, some type of discomfort over the next 24, 48 hours. Although if you never feel that way, I'm going to venture to say you're not working hard enough.
Yeah, definitely. There's that fine line of you don't want to be too sore all the time, but you also don't want to have.
But yeah, if you wake up tomorrow and you can barely walk, like, you probably did a little bit too much, right?
Well, that's the thing too that they're coming out with for hypertrophy specifically, like for growing muscle, like these sets that we're talking about, these 10 to 20 sets. The set needs to be within it needs to be hard training. It can't just be like you do a set of 15 and you're just sitting there training and you can do another 15. That's not going to grow muscle, right? It needs to be
difficult.
Hard. It needs to be difficult. Like, it can't be just, like I said, it can't be a set of 30 where you just pump it out and you have another 20 reps to go. Like, that is just going to be inefficient for hypertrophy training.
Agreed. And also too, like, everything we talked about today, guys, is these are general guidelines and recommendations, right? And there's also other workout protocols out there that have shown to be effective to grow muscle and get stronger and things like that. Like, it's what we're talking about here is not like these magical, like you said, magical amount of times a week you train or magical number of sets. Like, these are ranges that probably will work. Like, everybody's different.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And genetics are going to play a big role in it, for sure.
Genetics, nutrition, how much you sleep, recover, like, all these things, like, matter, right? So I think the most important thing is find what works for you, something you can stick to, and push yourself, right? Like, work hard. I think ultimately, that's one of the biggest things that hinders people from getting results in the gym, other than nutrition practices, is that you just don't work hard enough while you're here, right? If you don't walk out of this gym, or if you walk out of the gym after a day of working out and you're just like, you don't feel that tired, you don't really feel worn out at all, probably didn't work hard enough to elicit an adaptation, right? You have to do something hard enough to where your body is not used to it and your body goes, what the hell are you doing to me?
At least most of the time. There's probably times where you can take a step back.
Well, sure, like, if you're going to take like maybe a deload week or something, of course.
I would say 85% of the time you need to be training hard.
Yeah, you should walk out of the gym going like, yep, I gave it my all. Like, I probably could have given a little bit more, but not too much more, right? Like, and if you're not, I think that's the number one deciding factor is just you got to work hard while you're here. So those are my 2 thoughts. 2 cents, I guess. So.
Yeah, I think we summed it up good. Just realize that more volume in terms of training is good, but it's also a U-shaped curve. So the more you do in one session, it's also going to go down. So it comes up, good, and then you reach a certain point, and after that, you start to see less and less muscle growth or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah. So we'll. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this part out. But anyways, so yeah, bell curve. So okay, so let's kind of sum it up. More volume, good, but it's gonna get to the point where it's bad. Everything discussed. These are general values, ranges. They're not necessarily for everybody. There's other training protocols that work. Find what works for you and that you can stick with. Work hard. Like, don't pussyfoot around.
Let me add one more thing there. Make sure that the sets are about 8 to 10 per session, no more than 8 to 10 per session. And then ideally, you want to be in that 10 to 20 set range per week for each muscle group. And that's going to range depending on your muscle, how big you are, which muscle group it is, etc.
Yep, you heard it here first, guys, on the Raw Trainer Files, all right? If you want to watch the full version of this video, check us out on YouTube. Link is in my bio. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you already watched the full version.
Nice.
You guys can find our Instagram handles below. I'll also go ahead and put our Freedom Fitness Anytime handle below. You guys can check us out there. Until next time, guys, drop us a comment. Send us a message. Engage in the conversation with us. We want to know what you think. We want to talk to you. We want to learn and grow with you guys. So until next time for episode number 9, this has been Raw Trainer Files.
There we go.
Cheers.